Discover, the one who came under pressure, the first one into the home straight. XFITE took a very shortcut towards the inside. The one who's veered out on the outside, there was Zuhudson. Down the center, there is Wind Chaser. As they enter the last 350 now, Rewrite the Stars tries to kick away. The one who's sneaking a run towards the inside, we got XFITE. Out of your screen, there is Hootson. On the top picture, you can see Hootson. Down the center is Wind Chaser. They come almost a blanket finish coming up here. About 100 meters to go. Rewrite the Stars still hanging on. The one who's moving threateningly towards the inside, there is XFITE. The one who moved almost on the wide outside, there was Hootson. I think XFITE got it, but let's wait and see what the judges' placing shows, because from my naked eye, it's hard to tell.
It's Indian Tiger in front, calling it always. Mr. Gucci went very wide at the turn, 5-6 wide. Nandini Sped cruised up behind Indian Tiger. We got Mr. Batolabaz in fourth. Then behind Mr. Batolabaz, we saw is Rare Bird looking for a run. Gets the run between Mr. Batolabaz and Mr. Gucci. By then, Indian Tiger already kicked away, went 5-6 lengths clear. Nandini Sped looked threatening at one part. Then when Rare Bird was unleashed on the wide outside, you could just see the ground he was covering, enormous ground he covered up the last furlong. And by the time the winning post came, it was a very, very close finish between Indian Tiger and Rare Bird. So I leave it to the judge. He goes past the 600. Here we can see Misty Grey is in front. Social Truth has always been taping him on the outside. Sitting comfortably with CS Jodha. On the inside was Big Brown, looking for a split between them. On the outside of Big Brown was Too Much Politics. And behind them was Kunal's Bagheera. The field came into the home stretch. It was Misty Grey who was just in front for a brief while when she was passed by Social Truth once he was put in top gear. And this just was easy sailing then. Once he asked him for an effort, hands and heels, CS Jodha just driving out Social Truth to a convincing victory, winning it by close to a distance, I think, from Misty Grey, who hung on to run second, ahead of Kunal's Bagheera and Big Brown in fourth.
Wandering Angel is making the pace as she likes. Nazakat, the one who came under pressure, the first one. Shopify took the run wide. Ansikar at this point is not really getting the opening. Basharat is really watching all this unfold in front of it. As they enter the home straight, Wandering Angel still travelling on the bridle into the last 300. Basharat gets a split down the center. R.S. Bhatti drives Basharat through, and she accelerates and takes the lead from Wandering Angel, who's still a little one-paced. Ansigar is going all over the place, huffing and puffing, but Basharat in the meantime has kicked away and sewn up the race long way from home. Basharat is your winner. Ansigar, I think, ran second. And then we had Wandering Angel, who made all the running and stayed on in third. I will hand it over to the judges' box for the Surfside handicap for the results for the fourth race of the afternoon.
Here he is now coming up alongside Sureforce, who shot his boat. Cliffhanger strapped a little wide, but tries to essay a challenge there. Redoubtable has every chance, but just fails to quicken. And as they straighten up, you can see Justified along the rails, hands and heels, and then the stick comes out with Jodha, and he manages to get that little bit more. Cliffhanger looked threatening up on the outside, but just couldn't get up to Justified, who was travelling too well and receiving almost 5 kilos from him, which has made the difference today. So Justified coming back to winning ways, winning the Grand Madame handicap here from Cliffhanger. Then comes Redoubtable and Denied My Soul.
His first classic, two-trainer Christopher Alford, and of course for owner Andre Augustin. As we see the replay here, Neeraj Raval here sees Lady Lorraine stopping in front, takes over the running. By this time Camila had improved on the outside of Aretha. And as they straighten up for the final run-in, CS Jodha presses the button on Camila. She starts improving. By this time Neeraj Raval had taken a break about 2.5 lengths on Euphrates. And this Phoenix Star out of Age of Magic filly just kept going, and CS Jodha did everything he could to try and get level with her, but he couldn't get up to her as she kicked on, and at the end held on comfortably to win by a couple of lengths. So Euphrates here winning the Calcutta Oaks from Camila, Mystical Rose running third, and Aretha running fourth. So over to the judge for the final placings.
Sitara making the pace, perhaps given a breather as they enter the last 600. The field catches upon her. Eureka Legend is racing in third. The one who moved very keenly there is Soaring High, perhaps the jockey fighting for the rein. Then we got Coach Jester is the one who's really trying to get a run in between runners. Then we got on the outside, Abhay Gama ran a little green as they entered the last 300 now. And Sitara kicked away as they entered the last 200 and opened up a gap about 2.5, 3. The others were really huffing and puffing behind. The one who stayed on well, there was Eureka Legend. But the winner, Sitara, by Arazan out of Flaming Glory. And Eureka Legend is second. I'll hand it over to the judges' box for the final placings for the Castle Bridge Cup. Nova is tracking the early leaders in third spot, hidden up from your view. The one who are fighting for the lead in front there is Divine Chakra, Astral Force. They are the first one to come under pressure. Resolute being handled very carefully on the outside by Suraj Naidu. As they enter the home straight, they're almost going in slow motion. As they enter the last 400, Nova asked to go ahead. Resolute now asked for an effort by Suraj Naidu, but there is no response. And then he has to really cajole Resolute, but still he gets nothing. At this point, Nova has kicked away, got a useful lead. Resolute given a few reminders back to back. The one who was moving well on the outside there was Eastern Crown. But Nova, your winner. Resolute is second. I'll wait for the judges' placings for the finalists handicap, the last race of the day.